see what they're doing to my community, and I'm very concerned. So we're here today because we're calling on this amendment to be done with. The DEC, the EPA have all realized that this is an issue. They're continuing to allow to do this because of their Title V permits that they have been expired for now a year and a couple weeks now. And we're calling on the DEC to really look at these permits, probably to deny them, because we do not want this amendment to be in there, and we don't want them to be incinerating this stuff 100 feet away from where people are living. I mean, it's gotten so bad at Saratoga sites that the Cohoes Housing Authority is moving residents out because of the dangers of this facility. What does that say? This facility has had years and years of damage, and we're trying to put this to rest. Residents are waiting every single day to see what's going to happen. Yes, now these permits are expired, these Title V permits, and it's amazing that they can operate because a doctor can't even operate on you. You can't go to the dentist, you can't drive your car. John McDowell couldn't be a pharmacist if his license was expired. So why can this facility continue to operate with expired permits? And it's not just Norlite, but many facilities across the area, including the Dunn landfill and others. So we're calling on the DEC and Norlite. We're hoping Norlite can voluntarily comply. If not, we're hoping the DEC can kind of stretch their ways and force the Norlite facility to really comply to these changes, because they're one of the only facilities in the nation that can do this Bevel amendment. And it's scary, and it's happening in our backyards. So thank you guys for coming. I'm going to introduce our next speaker. I'm very glad he's able to come today. Assemblymember McDonald is going to say a few words, and then we'll go from there.
Well, thank you, Joan. Good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here with all those in solidarity, and also with County Legislator Bill Ricard, who represents the Saratoga Sites area and where Norlite is currently housed. And to pick up where Joe left off on the Bevel Amendment, this is something that has been in law throughout the country, and Norlite was approved to exercise and work under the Bevel Amendment back in the mid-1990s. This is something that has been condoned, but to the credit of DEC, in recent correspondence to Mayor Keeler in the city of Cohoes, DEC has made it very clear that if a permit is renewed, Norlite will not be able to continue their past practices at the Norlite facility in regards to their ash material and their baghouse dust material, which we believe has been contributing to many of the concerns that have been expressed by the residents at Saratoga Sites. So I want to thank DEC for already foreshadowing that this activity has to stop and has to change. And to that point, I am sending a letter today to Norlite, not to DEC, but to Norlite, to ask them to be proactive, to think about being the good neighbor that they pretend to be, that they profess to be, and to take actions now to change their operations for the benefit of the residents of the city of Cohoes. Thank you.
Thank you, Assemblymember. Those words are very appreciative. Now we're going to welcome one of our experts on the Bevel Amendment, kind of the guy who kind of got this on our radar, Dave Pablo.
Morning, everybody. Can you hear me? Great. So my name is Dave Pablo. I live in Troy. I am a videographer, a sometime contributor to WOC as a radio journalist, and I've been working on a documentary about Norlite and its impact on Saratoga Sites and our surrounding area for more than a year. I've interviewed probably more than 20 individuals, many with families, many who live at Saratoga Sites. And those residents consistently state that their children have developed what they think of as asthma living in close proximity to Norlite. We've already documented that Norlite in their incineration process produces a huge amount of silicates. And those silicates, according to Norlite MSDS, for their product, their aggregate product, that can cause silicosis. And I believe that the children at Saratoga Sites are probably suffering from early silicosis. Some of the other symptoms that people have stated to me on video are COPD. There's a mother and son who have daily nosebleeds and respiratory problems. Another who has multiple myeloma, thyroid problems, cancer, and relatives who live in the area who have also suffered from cancer. They believe that this is from exposure to Norlite's fugitive dust emissions. So I'm going to fill you in on a bunch of the details that are probably kind of Greek to you at this point, but which will unfortunately become household words. Those will include things like the Bevel Amendment, block mix, baghouse dust. So Norlite, they have they are a hazardous waste incinerator, and they process shale through that hazardous waste incinerator. They use hazardous waste as fuel. That shale in that kiln process is converted into aggregate. That is their supposed product. But if you look at, and in the press package it has this, I copied some of the sections from Norlite's waste analysis plan of 2014. It'll detail some of the things about the requirements that they have to meet in order to do what they do. But what they do is they have a pollution control system that captures the exhaust from this kiln burning the hazardous waste. And that pollution control system is rated to capture 99% of the pollutants that come out. That sounds good, except those pollutants are in the form of particles and wastewater. And for decades, Norlite was dumping the wastewater in the Mohawk River. Again, they were permitted to do this by the DEC under the Speedies permit, but still not a good idea. And as far as the particulate matter, that's where baghouse dust comes in. A baghouse is a type of filter in that pollution control system, and it captures particles down to the microscopic level. Norlite takes that dust, and whatever is in that dust, they mix it in with the aggregate at a ratio of 88% baghouse dust to 12% aggregate. They do that mixing in an area they call the finishing plant, which is right next to Saratoga sites. The dust from that blows into that community. Then they store all of that stuff in a, they label this product, first of all, the aggregate plus the baghouse dust as block mix, all right? It's used as concrete filler, it's used in things like that, so it could be almost anywhere in the area where construction companies have used it. They store it in a pile that at present is about 50 feet high, and it's about the size of a city block. It is completely uncovered. It's in the south end of the Norlite facility, and the thing about Norlite is that they are burning things, forms of hazardous waste from all over the country. Those things will contain lead, mercury, arsenic. Those are heavy metals, and if it's a heavy metal when it goes into the kiln, it's a heavy metal when it comes back out. So the idea of mixing that in with their aggregate product and selling it to people who have no idea what they're buying is enormously dangerous. And the fugitive dust that goes off of that block mix pile and off of the finishing plant area and all of that is just an enormous public health threat. So I think that's pretty much all I have to tell you at this point. Well, so the Bevel Amendment, as has been mentioned, that went into effect in 1994. Norlite requested it, and it should never have been applied because they were burning hazardous waste. But it has, and it's been completely unregulated. DEC in the last few months has done an about-face on this, but this is an immediate problem. This fugitive dust has been going on for close to 30 years. Who knows what the health effects are going to turn out to be in the long run. But that's the situation that we're dealing with right now. And I think we can answer any questions.
Yes. Thank you, Dave, for that very detailed explanation. It's a very complicated issue. There's a lot of details. That's why you guys are here to ask questions. So we're here to take any questions if you have any on this really important issue. Not necessarily just for me, but for anyone else on the panel as well.
I'm going to give one more detail.
Sure.
So the extra part that I put in the press packet, the last 4 pages, that's a section from their waste analysis plan. That's what's currently in effect right now. It's from 2014. And the part that I wanted to have you guys look at is, I think it's 6.11 or something like that. It's the one where they detail that they are required to show that every 24 hours what they're burning is safe and the pollution that they produced and captured in their baghouse is okay. But they actually only have to test once a month for metals and once a year for organics. Organics are things like PCBs and dioxins and things like that. And for all of you who know Norlite, Norlite has a horrible record of environmental violations, right? So to give them the license to check once a month in a manner of their own choosing to make sure that what they're burning is safe, and then for the other 30 or 29 days of the month to just burn whatever they want is absurd. The other thing is, as I said, Norlite is burning different things every day. Some days it's lead, some days it's mercury, some days it's arsenic, some days illegally it's PFAS or things like that, right? And so if they're only checking once a month, those other days they go unnoticed, they go unregulated.
Thank you, Dave.
If you can see that, can you?
Yes.
Right in front of the microphone.
Right here?
Yep, right in front of the
Oh, right here.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And now,
with the cake mix.
yes. We're going to deliver this 1-year anniversary cake to the DEC. So they're doing they took the cake from a little bit. It's a little bit of encouragement, sugary encouragement. A cookie cake, my favorite. I've always had it. So I was like, you know, why not? So we're going to deliver this to the DEC, and they can leave it in their prep room or whatever they want to do with it. And yeah, so I don't know if you guys want to go in there first, or you want me to just follow me, wherever you guys prefer.
I'm going that way. I'm frozen. Hey, Joe, thank you. Thank you for coming.
So the DEC is going to come down and get the package.